So, you're starting chemo. I remember that sentence. I remember hearing it and feeling my world go quiet for a second. I sat in that chair a few years ago, and while I was seated in that chair, I realized that the movies and rumors don't actually tell you what it is. They just tell you to be scared. I made this video not as a doctor, but as a former patient to give you a real, honest guide on what chemotherapy actually is, what it felt like for me, and what I wish someone had told me on day one. Let's start with the day before your first treatment. Nobody really talks about this. For me, the hardest day wasn't infusion day. It was the day before. The waiting, the imagining. Your brain fills in all the gaps with the worst possible scenes from movies. I barely slept. I kept touching my hair, wondering when it would be gone. I looked at my reflection and imagined how it would look like in a month because I was already looking terrible. If you're in that waiting room right now, here's what I want you to know. The imagining is worse than the reality, not because chemo is easy, it's not, but because our brains are storytellers. Your brain is now writing a horror novel. The truth is more boring than you think. There's a lot of sitting, a lot of waiting, a lot of bad TV. Infusion day, what is it actually like? You check in, they weigh you, take your blood, then you go to the infusion room, which is usually just a big room with a bunch of recliners. The nurses become your people. They ask if you want anything, bring you warm blankets depending on where you are, work closely with your carers, and ensure you're comfortable. They are the reason I made it through chemo. The IV goes in. That part is quick. But for some of us with very tiny veins, it was a bit of a challenge. But when we eventually got through that, we would start the medicine. The sensation was strange, not painful, just cold, like someone was slowly pouring ice water through my vein. Some people feel nothing at all. Some people taste it immediately, a metallic taste, like licking a spoon. You sit there for a few hours. You sleep, scroll through your phone, stare at the wall, and when it's over, you go home. The amount of time you spend there is determined by your treatment regimen and your type of cancer. The days after, the real story. Here is the part I wish someone had prepared me for. Days after is when it hits. Isn't like the fatigue after a long day. It's bone deep. You feel like your blood has been replaced with wet cement. You want to move, but your body just won't. The first few days were a fog. I would wake up, eat a little if I could. Everything tastes like cardboard or metal, and then I'll sleep again. And the emotions all over the place. You cry for no reason. You laugh at nothing. Your body is going through war and your brain is just going along with the ride. But here is the hope. It passes. Each round you learn new patterns. You learn what day is the hardest. For me, it was the first 7 days after chemo. You learn what days you become a little bit more human. That was the second week for me. You become an expert at your own body. Some people think you throw up constantly. That's not true for everybody. I did that in the beginning, the very first cycle, but because I didn't know, I didn't even contact my doctor. Otherwise, modern medicine has availed to us anti-nausea meds. Other people think that you will lose your hair immediately after chemo. That's not true. For some, yes. Others, the hair will thin. Some other people, the hair will go off like on day 17. In my case, I can't even tell when it started going off, but I was anxiously waiting to see my hair fall off. I kept thinking I'll find hair on the pillow like we've watched in movies, and there was nothing happening. I had braided my hair like this. The only thing that I noted was the root area was just disappearing. It felt like it was melting, and at some point the braids was standing on a strand. So I just cut my hair myself and started wearing my bald look, which I wore with confidence. The new hair comes back curlier and softer. I actually am enjoying my new hair right now. Some people think chemo is a death sentence. It's not true. Chemo is a tool. It's like a weed master that you put in your garden to take off the weed. It's hard, but it's not the end. I am here right now as living proof. You just only have to know what to do. Just like when you have a garden and you put weed master in it, of course, certain things will stay, others will go. And then you have to help whatever has stayed behind to thrive and get up and move. That's what we're supposed to do with our bodies too while on chemo. What I would like to leave for you in this video is let people help you. In the beginning, I tried to be strong, to do it all alone, and I crashed hard. When a friend offers to bring you dinner, say yes. When they want to drive you to an appointment, say yes. When anybody is coming to give you help, please say yes. We have this tendency, some people, of wanting to be private about it, and it weighs on you. Because in my case, I was that kind of person that wanted to really do my journey alone. But time came and I couldn't do it. When I let people help me, it was amazing. You're not weak for needing help. You're a human going through something massive. Be gentle with yourself. Also, bring snacks to your infusion. Carry a good charger. Wear light clothing. Those small things matter a lot more than you think. If you're about to start chemo or you're in the middle of it, I see you, I remember you, and I'm rooting for you. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I'll read and answer them. If you know anyone who needs to see this video, please send it to them. Take care of yourself, one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.